This really seems to be the area of difficulty that most plumbing apprentices struggle with, and the problem is that if you can't get in for your first year, it's really hard to get in at all after that. And there's a lot of information around this that I think needs to be kind of digested by the first year plumbing apprentice so they understand what exactly is your biggest hurdle. Why do company owners have such a hard time saying yes to you and allowing you to join the company? And therefore, what can we do to make sure that it's easier for these companies to actually say yes? Why do first-year plumbing apprentices struggle to get hired? Let's talk about it. Peeps, Kenny Molotov, please check out MolotovPlumbingAcademy.com for courses that are specifically designed to help you succeed in your plumbing apprenticeship. Also, join our newsletter down below. That way you get information on new content coming out on the channel and also new courses that are coming out on the Academy as well. So I wanted to tackle this subject, why do first-year plumbing apprentices struggle to get hired? Because this really seems to be the area of difficulty that most plumbing apprentices struggle with. And the problem is that if you can't get in for your first year, it's really hard to get in at all after that. And there's a lot of information around this that I think needs to be kind of digested by the first year plumbing apprentice so they understand what exactly is your biggest hurdle. Why do company owners have such a hard time saying yes to you and allowing you to join the company? And therefore, what can we do to make sure that it's easier for these companies to actually say yes? So there's a couple of obvious things that we need to get out right away. The very first reason why plumbing apprentices struggle to get hired as a first year is because you, in most probability, don't have any of the skills that a journey person has. Now, this is difficult because every company owner is trying to fill a quota. They're trying to get the work done. They're also trying to get it done at the fastest speed, because the faster they're able to get the labor and the work done, the cheaper it is for the customer, the cheaper it is for the company. It looks better for the customers, and those customers have a higher probability of referring you to their friends, saying, hey, they actually did a really quick, affordably priced job. You should call them up and try to get them to do your thing, whatever it is. So that's number one. And the thing is, the only thing that you're bringing to the table at that point is character, because in most probability, you don't have any of those skills. Your job is to facilitate the journey person, is to help them lug around the tools, go pick up materials, that sort of thing. You're a helping hand. You're not in the building force of the entire project. You are in a supporting role sort of thing. Number two, there's a sense of you being a liability on the job, because not only do you not have the skills, you also don't have the expertise to understand what are the areas of danger in regards to a job site. Are you trespassing on something that you shouldn't be trespassing on? That sort of thing. So in combination, we're just basically trying to say you are totally green. And when a company owner opens up your resume and sees that, that's the first thing that pops into their head. They have to now spend time to train you up to make you a second-year apprentice, third, fourth, and maybe even a journey person. So now that we got that out of the way, which I feel like is the obvious thing, now we have to go on to the next reasons why you have a hard time getting hired, is because A, like we just established, you don't have the skills that they really wish you had. And now it can potentially pair with baggage. So for example, you don't have the skills that a journey person would have, therefore, and on top of that, you also are always late. And on top of that, you have an attitude problem. And on top of that, you're not careful. And on top of that, you don't have a driver's license, or you have a drug issue, or whatever. So from that point forward, now it's an even bigger task, an even bigger obstacle for the company to be able to hire you, or to be able to train you, or to even be able to hire you, because now there's a list of things that also can go awry in this situation. It's very difficult taking a leap of faith on apprentices, because this additional baggage that can take place can now really work against the company, and it's not worth the headache anymore. So that's something you got to keep in mind. Now, if you aren't up to par in regards to your etiquette going on to job sites, it's going to be even more difficult to keep you around, let alone hire you to begin with. So a lot of the really fundamental things that have been talked about in regards to plumbing apprentices in general on job sites is, are they on their phone? Because if you're on their phone, that's a type of baggage that a company doesn't need. Do you have an attitude problem? When somebody asks you to do something, do you do it, or do you roll your eyes, or do you get upset that you have to do it and another apprentice doesn't have to do it? Do you constantly have arguments about hierarchy, like this apprentice just came, why am I the one lugging around all the tools? Rather than, hey, it's your job, grab the tools, let's go, sort of thing. Are you always late? Is punctuality an issue for you? Because that's another major red flag for the company. Do you always forget your PPE? That sort of thing. Do you have a hard time getting tasks done? Do you have a hard time understanding the information that is needed of you? Do you have a hard time facilitating a task? Are you bad at taking direction? Are you bad at listening to directions? All those things. If you struggle with any of those and now you pair it with the fact that you don't have these skills, it becomes a formula for a plumbing company to go, why are we spending money on this? This is way too much money to be spending. And for a lot of company owners, they feel it's a waste of money to spend on a candidate that clearly they don't get the sense that this candidate wants to be there overall. And I think this is the overall feelings that I've gotten from plumbing companies that don't take first-year apprentices. They are just fed up with the idea of having to train somebody that is potentially untrainable, or they're ungrateful, or all those slew of things that I kind of described earlier in this video. So now that we've gone through and what it is you want to avoid being as a plumbing apprentice, let's talk about what exactly plumbing company owners are looking for. They're looking for somebody serious, they're looking for somebody competent, and somebody easy to work with. So let's break that down, okay? So when I say somebody serious, I mean somebody that if they were given instructions, they would hunker down and go get that task done for the journey person. So this includes, can you go get me a tool from the truck? This person hears that information, grabs the keys, and goes straight to the truck. They don't talk to 5 people on the way there. They're not giggling the entire time. They aren't walking really nonchalantly to the truck. They are hustling. They're moving. It's obvious that they have intentionality behind them. That is somebody serious, okay? That doesn't mean you can't joke on a job site. That doesn't mean you can't be lighthearted. It just means, though, that if a task is being asked of you, you are full force ahead. You know what I'm saying? You are not wishy-washy about it. There's an obvious direction to your movements going forward. The second thing I mean in regards to competence is, can you get that task done? At the beginning of your apprenticeship, journey persons aren't going to ask of you very big tasks. We're not going to ask you to rough in a water closet or anything, but we are going to ask you for those small tasks we need done in order to get the job done. Kind of like I described before, we are going to ask you to go to the truck and pick up tools, or go to the supplier, drive to the supplier, pick up materials, or run out to get us coffees, or you name it. We are going to ask you of those things. And as a journeyman, what I'm hoping is you go, you get it done, you come back, and you're doing it all safely. That's competence for me. Competence is me being able to ask something of you within reason, and you are able to go get that thing done as safely and as quickly as possible. And that kind of goes with the first thing that I was talking about being serious. They kind of go hand in hand together. If you're serious, a lot of times it means that you are aiming for competence, or you already are on the road to competence, sort of thing. These need to go hand in hand. Now, the third thing that you can work on to make yourself a really easy candidate to work with is, are you easy to work with? Are you approachable? By being approachable, by me being able to turn to you and say, hey, can you do me a favor? Can you go please talk to this foreman and just let them know that we are planning to make some noise at 5 o'clock, and find out what they say. By you not getting up in arms about me asking you to do something that might be a little bit out of the plumbing sphere, and you saying, no problem, let me go do that, that means you're easy to work with. If you are approachable with tasks and you don't roll your eyes, you don't give me any sort of emotional baggage, you're not on your phone all the time, you are for the most part on time and punctual, all those things make you easy to work with. And the easier you are to work with, it is easier for me to say, I want this person in the truck with me because my life is easier with them around it. If you are the opposite, if you're not serious, if you kind of are always messing around, you're always on your phone, you're always cracking jokes and you're not serious, then it becomes an issue. It gets in the way of us getting the task done. If you're sloppy, if you're not competent in that sense, it's easier to work with somebody that is. if you are not approachable, if I can't ask you to do something without hearing a big sigh come out of you, I don't want to deal with it. And other plumbers don't want to deal with it. It's just too much baggage. I don't want to deal with it. You see what I'm saying? And that is why you got to take those three things, look at yourself, and figure out, are you acting seriously? Are you acting competently? And are you easy to work with? If you can strike a balance between these three variables, you are going to be much more easily hired and much more easily kept around. You see what I'm saying? Those are the candidates that end up getting into their second, third, fourth, and fifth year of their apprenticeships because they are showing the aptitude for the work and they're showing the interest for the work as well. They obviously want to be there rather than somebody where it felt like their parent begged the company owner for them to get hired. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't a charity. This is work. And work requires physically ready and mentally ready individuals. And if you don't fit that description, unfortunately, you can't be on that squad. You can't be on that team, because that's just going to slow us down, and that baggage is just going to deteriorate the entire crew. So now that we've talked about why plumbing company owners have a hard time hiring first-year apprentices, and also what kind of traits are you trying to bring to the table to make it easier for you to get hired, let's talk about a couple of things that you can get in order for you to be able to get hired. So things that make you more hireable. The very first thing is do you have a trades resume or a plumbing resume in order? Have you created one? Have you created that document where a plumbing company can open it up and right away they see the experience that they're looking for and they see the interest from the candidate, and it makes you more hireable? Because if you don't have that in order, you got to get that done ASAP. And if you need help with that, I got a free plumbing resume course on the website, on my plumbing academy. Go down in the description below. The links are right there. It's absolutely free. It gives you the document as well so that you can walk through it and you watch me go through my resume as well so that you know what exactly it's supposed to look like. That's the first thing. So now that we talked about what are the pitfalls with plumbing apprentices, what sort of things company owners are trying to avoid, let's talk about what can you do as a plumbing apprentice to make sure that you are not one of these candidates that obviously gets the boot very quickly, sort of thing. The first thing is, kind of like I said before, there are three things that you're aiming for. You're aiming to be a serious candidate, a competent candidate, and a candidate easy to work with. That comes down to personality, and that comes down to things that you can hold yourself responsible for. So you can figure out everything that you need to get done on a job site. You can start asking questions about why journeymen and journeywomen are doing what they're doing. Make it very obvious that you are planning to go get things done. You can constantly ask people two really important questions. What's the game plan? What can I do? That shows your seriousness on a job site as well. Those are things that you can take care of. And also on top of that, the third thing that you can take care of is when somebody asks something of you, you can say yes. And this is obviously within reason. If it's something that you feel uncomfortable about, if you think it's unsafe, you can ask questions about it and let them know that I'm a bit uncomfortable about it. But for the most part, if I'm asking you to get a task done that is safe and that you can do, I don't want to get any emotional baggage. I just want you to execute that plan. Let's get that done, sort of thing. The second thing that you can do as a plumbing apprentice to make yourself more serious, more competent, and easy to work with is you can now learn information on your own time. You can take your knowledge into your own hands. You're already at the right spot. In other words, you're already on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, and you're already watching other plumbers talk about these subjects. What you can do personally is go through the different plumbing YouTubers that there are, find out what kind of plumbing that they do, find out what kind of advice that they give, find out why they made certain decisions on job sites with certain tools or certain materials and that sort of thing. That is knowledge, and that is something that you can do at any point. It is your way of studying, and it's kind of like a modern day version of studying, right? You can actually look into people's lives and look into their work and find out what their styles are like, what different types of plumbing is being done, commercial, new construction, service, water treatment, that sort of thing. You can go and dive into all those things, find out a little bit of information going forward, and that way when you're on a job site, and your journey person is doing something, you know what they're doing. Or you can even offer, like, you know what I saw, which was really interesting? The other journey person that was doing this did this, that sort of thing. So take your knowledge into your own hands. YouTube is a great resource. There are a lot of fantastic plumbing YouTubers out there. Check them out. Make sure that you follow them. Make sure that you learn from them. And the third thing, obviously, is you can actually get paid courses to learn plumbing, whether it be a pre-apprenticeship program with a college, or whether it be an online course, kind of like I have on the Academy or other plumbing YouTubers have on their websites, that sort of thing. You can finally take your knowledge and your expertise into your own hands, and you can push yourself to learn as much as you want about it. That's up to you. And by doing that, you are then again representing those things every journey person, journeyman, journeywoman is looking for. We're looking for a candidate that's serious, that is competent, and that is easy to work with. All right, peeps, I hope that was useful. Do me a favor, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and that bell notification so you know exactly when we're getting videos. Smash that thumbs up, share with friends and other plumbing apprentices, and I'll see you plumbers very soon. Kenny Molotov, guys. Peace, baby.